Good evening and welcome to the evening news. I am Kayode Adebayo. President Bola Tinubu has revealed that his administration is earmarking 4.91 trillion naira for defense and security for the 2025 fiscal year, while infrastructure, health, and education will get 4.06 trillion naira, 2.48 trillion naira, and 3.5 trillion naira respectively. President Tinubu said this when he presented the 2025 appropriation bill to a joint session of the 10th National Assembly in Abuja. The appropriation bill is titled the Restoration Budget Securing Peace, Building Prosperity. While highlighting the 2025 budget allocations, he emphasized that his administration's decisions are deliberate and resolute, noting that the priorities are clear. According to the president, government significantly increased the funding for the military, paramilitary, and the police forces to secure the nation, protect the borders, and consolidate government control over every inch of the country's territory. Tinubu affirmed that the government will continue to provide security forces with the modern tools and technology they need to keep the country safe, adding that boosting the morale of the men and women of the armed forces will remain his government's top priority. The Economic Community of West African States is ramping up preparations to introduce its single currency, ECO, following a consensus reached during its 65th ordinary session. This announcement was made in a communique released after the 66th ordinary session of the heads of state and government meeting, which was held in Abuja. The rollout of the ECO, initially scheduled for launch in 2020, was postponed due to the impact of the coronavirus pandemic, while the new target date for its introduction is now set for 2027. The heads of state called on the high-level committee and the ECOWAS Commission to accelerate efforts to meet the established deadline for creating and operationalizing the institutions essential for the ECO's launch. Additionally, the authority endorsed the high-level committee's recommendations regarding the financial aspects, cost, funding sources, and modalities necessary for implementing the reforms and institutions required for the ECO's launch. The introduction of the ECOWAS currency is expected to facilitate trade and stimulate economic growth within the region. The Vaccine Network for Disease Control has called for an urgent need for timely budget releases of vaccine funds to strengthen immunization programs to address the growing challenge of children who have never received any vaccines. Head of programs at VNDC, Chika Nwankwo, stated this at the sidelines of a capacity building workshop and media advocacy for vaccination financing in Abuja. He highlighted notable progress made under the current administration, but emphasized that delays in funding releases still pose significant hurdles to ensuring vaccines reach underserved areas. The organization called for a simplified fund release process of budgetary allocation for vaccines, stressing that the extant process is cumbersome and time-consuming, with avoidable implications for the intended health outcomes of vaccination. It also stressed that the wake-up call becomes imperative as Nigeria remains the country with the highest number of zero-dose children, reflecting critical gaps in immunization coverage. The VNDC, however, underscores the need for media support in amplifying advocacy to policymakers and other critical stakeholders to reinforce their support for vaccine financing and the general public's education on the importance of children's vaccination and why they should demand it as a matter of right. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has revealed that the federal government, through the company, took a loan of $1 billion to support the Dangote refinery project when it encountered some financial difficulties. NNPC's head of corporate communications, Olufemi Shoneye, made the disclosure during his remarks at the Energy Relations Stakeholder Engagement in Abuja, highlighting the achievement of the Apex National Oil Company under the leadership of Malam Kyari. Shoneye said NNPC Limited has achieved groundbreaking milestones, redefining the trajectory of Nigeria's oil and gas sector. According to him, the restart of the Port Harcourt refinery marks a significant turning point in Nigeria's quest for energy self-sufficiency, reaffirming the company's commitment to revitalizing the nation's refining capacity. He said the NNPC has also championed the adoption of compressed natural gas as an alternative energy source, offering Nigerians a cleaner and more cost-effective solution amidst rising global energy costs, among other achievements. The Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority has shut down 8 petrol stations in Warri and its environs for various violations, including under-dispensing fuel, operating without valid licenses, poor safety measures, and poor housekeeping practices. The agency's coordinator in Delta State, Engineer Victor Owodiaza, disclosed this during a press briefing in Warri. The affected petrol stations located in areas such as Ikoro, Ugoton, Ubeji, Efurun Sapele Road, and Owen community in Hudu local government area were sanctioned after surveillance exercise conducted. He explained that the routine surveillance was part of the authority's mandate to ensure that petroleum product users receive accurate quality and quantity. He added that penalties had been imposed on the airing stations in line with the authority's guidelines, warning that repeat offenders will face stiffer sanctions. The Northern Christian Youth Professionals has commended President Bola Tinubu for granting free nationwide train transportation to commuters during this festive season. A statement issued by the chairman, Isaac Abrak, said it is yet another demonstration of the president's compassion for the common man and his commitment to ensuring that his reform policies bring tangible benefits to all Nigerians. According to him, by alleviating the financial burden of travel, the initiative will enable more Nigerians to celebrate the season with ease, thereby making the festivities even more enjoyable. He, however, appealed to the management of Nigerian Railway Corporation to address operational challenges that hindered the smooth implementation of the initiative last year so that the situation does not repeat itself. The National Bureau of Statistics has revealed that Nigerians paid a total of 2.23 trillion naira as ransom over the 12-month period between May 2023 and April this year, highlighting the growing threat posed by criminal activities in the country. According to the NBC's latest Crime Experience and Security Perception Survey report, an estimated 51.89 million crime incidents were recorded across Nigerian households in the reference period. The survey showed that the Northwest region had the highest incidence of crime, with 14.4 million cases reported, and followed by the North Central region with 8.8 million incidents. In contrast, the Southeast region reported the least crime with 6.18 million incidents. The NBS statistics come amid report that several northern states have resorted to vigilante squads and private security personnel to complement the federal government's efforts in the fight against banditry, terrorism, and kidnapping. The 32nd reunion anniversary of 1992 set of Faculty Comprehensive High School, Osogbo, holds tomorrow at the school hall along Ikerun Road, Osogbo. A statement signed by the president of the 1992 set, Modupe Omaniwa, confirms that the event will feature health outreach, awards, and recognition. The statement adds that some outstanding students of the present SS3 students of the school will also be rewarded with cash and gift awards for their outstanding performance. And now to sports. Following the goalkeeping crisis that has engulfed the club, South Africa Premier League side Kasachev has concluded plans to table offers for Nigeria Super Eagles and Chippa United goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali. The Amakoshi initially showed interest in 28-year-old shortstopper last season but failed to agree with Chippa United on financial grounds. According to the update from South Africa, the club is ready to return for Nwabali, who has signed a 3-year extension with Chippa United. The Nigerian international has been one of the best performers in the league this season, having recorded 4 clean sheets in 11 games. And now on the foreign scene. On the second day of his visit to Central African Republic, Jean-Pierre Lacroix, the UN peacekeeping chief, met with the country's Prime Minister Felix Molua. The two leaders discussed the ongoing situation in Central African Republic and the key steps needed for further progress. The humanitarian and security conditions in Central African country have deteriorated since March amid escalating clashes between armed groups. Despite these challenges, significant strides have been made in stabilizing the country. Lacroix highlighted several areas of positive change during the meeting, which include the redeployment of the state presence in conflict zones and successful stabilization efforts in various regions of the country. He also noted the progress made in disarming members of the armed groups and the fact that some groups have withdrawn from armed conflict and reintegrated into civilian life. A key topic of discussion was the country's electoral process, with national elections scheduled for next year, as he emphasized the importance of preparing for a smooth transition and fair voting process. And that ends the evening news on OSBC TV. Please join us at 7 for major report. Good evening.
Ọ̀tàrí mi ó sáré wọgbó, ó dẹ̀rù jẹjẹ sí wọn lọ́rùn. Nígbà tẹ̀sù ń halẹ̀ tó dé bábájà, omi èṣù sá lọ. Ọ̀tàrí mi ó sáré wọgbó, ó dẹ̀rù jẹjẹ sí wọn lára. Ọpẹ́ mi ó sọ mí sẹ́, ó tún joyin lọ. Oyin mọ́mọ́ adùn o. Ó sọ mí, ó pé mi, ó sọ mí, ó sọ mí, ó sọ mí. Jésù ìdùn joyin lọ. Ó pé mi, oyin mọ́mọ́ adùn. Ó sọ mí, ó sọ mí. Jésù ìdùn joyin lọ. Orúkọ tí kò pé méjì, Jésù ikú gbọ́ orúkọ rẹ̀ ó sá lọ. Àìsàn rí ó sáré wọ kó orúkọ Jésù mi dùn.